Hi, Joe. Welcome back. Another Out to Pasture. Kimbo Camper, Joe Rose. And hey, first of all, I got to talk about our sponsor, Sawgrass Auto Mall. You know, I had a little incident with my car. Someone threw some debris on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I take it back into Sawgrass Auto Mall, and the guys over there, Chris Atkins, no problem. Get you right in. And I'm
Well, it's getting fixed. You got another vehicle.
And look, obviously, we know we have a relationship with them over there. But I'm watching the other people. I'm watching the other people coming in. They're getting the same exact treatment as we get when we go in there.
Yeah.
And so I tell you, I can't say enough about what they were, you know, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Buick,
doing it,
everything. And so, we're just so thankful.
My maintenance done for my Chevy last week. Great experience as always. In and out. Great stuff.
Yeah. So, hey, look, it's just Joe and I today, and we're doing this because I think we've all I'm gonna use this terminology. We've all had a gutful of this Dolphin football team at this point, I think, in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. First of all, you know, you come out of training camp with this team, and you got high expectations. Oh, we got this big front seven that's going to play great. You know, the offense with Tua. You got Tyreek and Waddle. We're going to run the ball and this and that. And boy, once you walk into the what is it? Still the RCA Dome up in Indianapolis, and get your butts kicked, and from then on. Boy, it has been a trial. It has been tough. And I fans every day, every week, I see fans, and they're going, what the fuck is going on with this team? You know, and you could probably say something different each and every week. Now you go through the trade deadline, get rid of Jalen Phillips. That was kind of assumed that was going to happen. And Chris Grier gets fired. Got to talk about that. Champ Kelly comes in as the interim. Is he going to be here for long? Is he going to be here next year? How do you do that? How do you deal with that? So this Dolphin ship right now is in choppy waters from top to bottom.
8 games left, and boy, I tell you, blown out in 3 of the games.
Yeah.
Had a couple. Embarrassing. Got embarrassed. Thursday night, by the way. I thought that Amazon game on Thursday Night Football, Bo, I thought that was it. Bags on heads, 30+ thousand Baltimore Raven fans, people leaving early, and every time something was negative that had to do with the Dolphins, they did the shot of the owner in his box, and I think he was embarrassed. I think he was forced to have to do something the next morning. I don't know if he wanted to, but again, he wanted to see a competitive team, and that thing ended up third time, as I said, they've been blown out and haven't been able to figure out how to win close games. So here we go, Bo. The word is, Mike, go out, be competitive, get better, win games, see what you can do with Tua Tagovailoa as your quarterback, because we owe him a lot of money going forward, and we'll go from there.
Oh, and by the way, you got the Buffalo Bills coming to town.
Yes.
And they're on a roll. And they want nothing more to do than, you know, get out there, blow this team out in the first half, and just move on. And let's get back home and get back to business again.
And they come in town with the number 1 offense, number 1 rushing team in the NFL. Josh Allen's playing like Josh Allen, who, by the way, has a 14-2 record when you count the playoff win against the Dolphins. He's had great success here. So we'll see what happens. Bo, I'm curious to see. This has been a weird 3 or 4 days. First of all, 3 or 4 guys were waiting all day Tuesday to figure out if they're going to get traded or not. They're on the phone with their agents. It's close. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Wednesday pops around. It's like, hey, back to work. Let's go. Let's get ready to go against the Buffalo Bills. So there's a lot going on, and they lose one of their better players on defense in Jalen.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Well, so how about you're a player on this team? You know the ship is sinking, and now comes the trading deadline. And Bradley Chubb, rumor comes up that, hey, the 49ers, they're hot after Bradley Chubb. Micah Fitzpatrick, he kind of pops up late in it.
50-50, he's going to get traded.
50-50 that he's going to go. And all these and anybody that's in that group, you're going, oh, well, geez, maybe I'll go to a better team. And then nothing happens. Now you kind of come back and you go, well, I know the team doesn't want me. I know that because they were shopping me. So how do you how do you go out as a player and commit completely to this football team? And again, now let's kind of go back to the beginning of this. Chris Grier, after the game, Stephen Ross has had enough, and you knew it was either going to be Chris or Mike or both, Chris goes because the personnel is just not playing up to the level of what they expect. And I think everybody saw that coming. So now then you go right into a trade deadline and you get Champ Kelly in here. Do you give him full reign? Do you give him full reign for the rest of the year?
I think so.
So I don't know how you.
I think so. But hey, Bo, I also just wanted to mention, as you look at this whole situation, just go back a couple years. You don't have to go way back. A couple years. You had a whole bunch of first-round picks in 2 years. You had a bunch of second-round picks in 2 years. You had a big free agent class, a lot of money, one of the most money of any team in the NFL for free agency. And then on top of that, you go, that's not enough. You go out and you trade. You give up some high draft picks. You trade to get a cornerback, a wide receiver, and a pass rusher. And you look at them, Bo, at the time I looked and I go, this is the best team we've had in a long, long time. Bo, it didn't work out. No. They gave it a shot. Everybody knew we're going all in to try to speed this up, to try to get a friggin' playoff win or two, and it didn't.
Yeah. And you look back, it all goes back to that, well, you can go back to when you drafted Tua. It was a polarizing choice. Some people wanted him, some people didn't. And how has that worked out? You've had one good year, maybe one good year from
Not
Tua.
Good enough.
But other than that, and look, it's hard to say. It's hard to watch this football team. I know there's a lot of Tua fans out there. I'm kind of over him a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. But do you trust him to go out and be a guy that's going to take your team in the second half, in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, when you need somebody back there that's going to be a blood and guts guy, drive your ass down the field, put points on the board, and steal a football game from somebody that's got a lead?
Yeah. I think Tua has to have everything damn near perfect around him. But he is limited. He's limited. I don't think, and I said this over and over, both he doesn't look like the 2023 guy that got the new contract. He doesn't look like the same guy.
Well, show me the money to me. That was the beginning of the downfall. I
was there that day.
I was very disappointed in that. They gave him a $250 million, what was it? 200 and whatever $million.
Yeah. Almost 200 guaranteed.
I kind of forget the numbers because
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of fucking money. And so instead of coming out in front of your fans that are spending money ticket-wise, and that's another subject. I got people calling me. I don't know if I'm going to renew my tickets.
Right.
The fans are pissed.
That's a big issue.
And so you have your quarterback, your franchise player, instead of coming out and saying, hey, I want to thank all you fans for supporting me, for being behind me. I'm happy to have this contract. I hope I can live up to it. You come out there and say, show me the money. And at that point, you know what? The air came out of the balloon for me when it came to Tua. I lost a lot of respect.
Yeah.
And I haven't regained it to this point.
Yeah. That was disappointing. Hey, he's got to do better in his press conferences too.
Oh my God!
He says some things.
My God!
Head scratching.
What about I couldn't get the calls out because the Ravens fans were too loud?
That's the latest.
How do you think that goes over with Mr. Ross sitting up there when you got your $200 million guy going?
So you can't hear at home.
Saying that our stadium doesn't support us. I couldn't hear because the other team's fans were.
Well, is that better than I'm a little too short and I can't see waddle the ball, or maybe the one in the meetings that guys aren't showing up to? I mean, you got some classics in there.
Guys aren't showing up to player only meetings.
Yeah.
Which which is
why you can't get fined for those. Bo.
Yeah,
that's not a team meeting. That's a player only meeting.
Yeah, it I'm usually in there sometimes when he was talking, and I just shake my head at what's coming out. It seems like he's nonchalant. And anyway, that's.
Hey, we just want to win games, man. Yeah. Get this thing going in the right direction, and Bo, it's going to take a while because of all this dead money that we have. It's going to take a while to build back up, but it's got to be the right people. How are you going to build it up? So it's going to be the right people doing it.
So you let's say you I'm not going to say it's better or worse. You've addressed the personnel situation. by relieving Chris Grier of his duties, right?
Right.
Now a new whoever it is, whether it's going to be Champ Kelly for just the rest of the season, or they're going to extend him as the new general manager,
right?
Or if it's somebody new. And so if you're somebody new, what's Champ going to do for the next 8 games or whatever it is, how many games we got left? Well, what's he going to do? He's a dead guy. I mean, there's no what authorities he have. What can he do? But the problem right now, to me, is when you look at this team, and I know the personnel may not have been the best, but I think we have some good players on there that aren't playing very well. And to me, it boils right down to one thing, and that's the guy leading the show, and that's Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
I just don't think this team has been coached or will be coached to the level it should be. And you can Mike's the guy at the head of the ship, Mike's the captain, but you know what? You got to lift up that hood of the car and look at some of these assistant coaches, because they're the ones that are coaching the positions, and some of these positions aren't playing as well as they should.
Yeah. Mike's an interesting one. Hey, this one I get all the time. What if the GM's not the new GM?
Yep.
Says, by the way, there's going to be a lot of guys want these jobs.
No doubt.
Don't get me wrong.
No, they're coming out of the woodwork. You don't think they're coming out of the woodwork?
Oh, I can deal with that. No, they want the jobs. Yeah. There's only 32 of those jobs. They're going to want them.
You think Mike Tannenbaum's been on the phone a little bit or something?
No, I think his time's done. A football operation. That
woodwork.
Oh no, all the names are going to be out there. But it is interesting. And by the way, you got to get a GM and head coach that can work together.
There you go.
And every man, at the end of the day, the GM's got final say, man. And so, hey, I know you're coaching the team. I know you like what you want. You want to jump up and down because you're passionate about your guys. But if the GM says doesn't make sense, that's got to be the guy. It's got to be clear cut. Can't we? I heard too many we's last year. We feel this way. We feel that way. Okay.
Yeah. The one thing I'd like to see, John Lynch in San Francisco, Howie Roseman, you see those guys that are at the top of their game, and their teams are showing it.
There's some good ones out
there. But you see them interacting. I see them on the sideline. I see them at the games. I see them. They're on the sideline. And maybe you don't want your GM on the sideline, but if he's out there and he's doing his job, getting these guys ready, I just want to see some toughness out of this football team. And if you got to get a tough general manager, that's gonna be put his stamp on the team, not just sitting in the room, not being in your office, not doing that and just kind of hanging around on the sideline. I know you're not hanging around. I know I'm kind of pushing off a little bit, but someone that's going to make a difference, a difference-making general manager. How many times have we seen? Look at the Detroit Lions, what they've done. Not only do you know who their general manager is, but along with what they got with Campbell, with Dan Campbell, and their general manager, they're in lockstep.
Well,
they're in lockstep with that football team. Well, and there's where you go.
And he's getting the toughness.
And who got the talent?
Yeah,
there. Yeah. So.
Well, we got figured out, Bo, because we haven't been able to get that connection in a long, long time. And this thing, bottom line, this is not about winning records. It's not about getting to a wild card position.
No,
it's about winning playoff games. It's never going to change. If you want to know the bigger goal, it's the one that New England and Buffalo are fighting for right now, and that's to win the AFC East and get home field. That's what it's about.
Well, and so, we were talking during the offseason, and we were going, so it's going to be the Bills, it's going to be the Dolphins, it's going to be it's going to be New England, and it's going to be Jets. Here we are, New England sitting at the top of the heap, and look at the personnel decisions that they made, coach wise, player wise, that's put them in this position. They got a big offensive line, they got a tough defense. They found their new quarterback.
They got their quarterback. Boy, did they? Drake May, man. Hey, Bo, on top of that, they hit on this draft. They had a big draft class. They love those 2 offensive linemen they drafted. And then all that money they spent on free agency, and they hit some jackpots on that. So you put that together with a coach that's got some experience. And we had a guy on my radio show. He said, I think he's coach of the year with what he's been able to
do.
No,
absolutely.
So Vrabel,
and again, you see with a coach like that, you see a tough football team. You see a tough football team that plays hard, and look, they may make some mistakes here and there, but it's not the look. You look back at the game last week, and both teams the statistics were almost even.
Yeah,
almost even. Like I think it was five penalties each, maybe 6 and 5, whatever the number was. But their penalties didn't hurt them. Ours killed us. We got them in the worst ways possible. The waddle down the field,
37-yard play called back.
You're going for a fourth down going in. Your guy jumps off sides. Now you got to go. Now you got to kick a field goal. Right. All those things count. And later in the game, you had another one. And so, those are all things that kill a football team, and it doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter. It's they won't do it again. Oh, they won't do it again. I guarantee you that's not what Mike Vrabel's saying up there.
No.
That's not what Dan Campbell's saying up there. I watched the Indiana. That coach, I'm watching the game. They're up by 20-something points. Someone fumbles the ball and the guy runs it in for a touchdown, and he's motherfucking that guy when he's coming off the sideline. I mean, he wants to choke the guy out.
I know when our guys make mistakes, people want to see Coach McDaniel do something with it. Sit a guy, take playing time away, cut him. That happens in this league too. And he's about positive reinforcement, maybe to a fault.
Well, so here's the other thing. You got the Waller catch when Ollie gets called for tripping, and Eric Studesville, the offensive or the running backs coach.
Yeah.
So Ollie comes off the field, and look, you could say that the penalty was, but this was bang bang.
Yeah.
If you're a coach on the sideline, you see the ball up in the air, you're going to turn your attention to that, and you're looking at the ball. So you didn't really see what happened with Ollie, but you knew that it's a penalty that took back a potential touchdown for you. You better let that guy in know on certain terms that you can't do that. I don't care what happened. Stay on your feet.
Yeah.
So what comes out of that is, the coach is being too hard on the players.
I heard it.
I heard that from so many people.
Yeah.
How can a coach talk to a player like that? I say I want every one of my coaches to talk to players like that, because there's a situation that you've got to rectify. You can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that in this situation. That's why we practice every day. We do.
Right.
And again, to me, coaches that don't care about the details have no business being in this league.
Yeah. So if you come off and everybody's patting you on the back, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And it happens over and over again. Same guys have same penalties.
Yeah.
And nothing's done. Doesn't get better. I'm with you, Bo. It doesn't get better, man. Guys got to be confronted. Sure. Hey, if this is going to continue, I can't play you.
So I remember being down on the sidelines. This was when we had like Paul Soliai, and I forget what year it was. When in the 2000, whatever year it was. And we had a kick returner, and kick returner, they kicked the ball. I think it was a punt returner, drops the ball, fumbles, but our guy recovered. And so I'm looking at the returner coming, and he's got a smile on his face. And then the coach goes to him. He's got a smile on his face. He's right in front of me, going, "Oh, you won't. I know you won't do it again. I know it won't happen again." Yeah, coach. I'm not. Next time, same thing happens again. Same exact thing happens again. And the coach, and I'm saying 2 times, and your coach is saying, you won't do it again. I'm patching about. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So that's you can't do that in this league.
No,
you can't.
I know what school you come from. Okay.
Well,
you come from the Don Shula
Well,
school,
no doubt.
Where everybody was motherfuck when they made mistakes.
Right. And did you ever make the mistake?
No,
no. I mean, if you know, whatever you had to do.
He lined up right on sideline to catch you. Yeah. There's no way around him, man. Getting back to that bench, he was waiting for you.
We're out to pasture. We're the old school. So I remember this. Coach Shula was the only coach I've ever seen that could yell at you without saying a word. You'd be like, I remember getting a hold of I face masked somebody, and I wasn't going to tackle him, so I face masked him. So it's better than having him run down the field, So I look over, and I see this. I look over the side, and he's like this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? That's language. That's Shula language. What the fuck?
I will tell you, he was amazing, everything that he saw on that big football field.
So I see this, and I look over and go, Coach, he cut me. He cut me. And you know what I got? I got the double silent, which is bullshit, right? So you halfway across the field, you go, what the fuck? No. And then you try to say, Coach, but bullshit,
Yeah.
But then there needs to be more of that.
Yeah.
Look,
no excuses, man.
I'm just letting my fucking steam out right now. This podcast.
It's been frustrating. I think we speak on behalf of a majority of our fan base right now. And the other thing, Bo, they got to be concerned with now, man, with this stuff. People want to know it's going to get better.
Yeah.
But they'll stop buying tickets.
Well, there you go. So I tell you, this last week, I was in a place that I go to all the time, picking up some groceries and stuff. And I'm standing in line waiting, and this guy's talking to another customer about, they're calling me. It's time to renew my season tickets, and geez, I don't know that I'm getting the value out of it. I mean, the tickets. I'm looking at what I pay, and I'm looking on SeatGeek or whatever you're doing, and you can get them for half what I'm paying, and now they're calling me for my season tickets to renew them. I don't know what to do. And he goes, I'm running. And so after the guy said, I think are you gonna? He goes, I don't want to. I've been a season ticket holder for
give me some hope.
He goes, he says, I don't want to. He says, and yesterday I was going to say, I'm not going to do it. And he says, now I'm leaning the other way. I think I'm going to do it just because I've had him for so long. But he says, man, I'm going to tell you what, it's a hard decision. And there's a lot of people that are going to make that hard decision the other way. And you're going to see more fans in the stands than our guys throughout the rest of this season.
The toughest job.
Well, how do you think it's going to be with the Bills in town?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of Buffalo fans.
You bet your ass they are.
So the toughest job right now on that property at Hard Rock Stadium property, it's a big piece of property, is that sales team that has to make calls to the season ticket holders. That's a tough job right now. Well, can you imagine what they get back?
Well, so those jobs are occupied by they usually get young kids, kids out of college.
Yeah.
I don't know, interns or their first job, their first entry. It's an entry level job, right? Do the ticket sales and stuff like that. And I know I've talked to you, and some of these guys, the stuff that comes through the phone in their ears.
The way they had nothing, like they're saying, hey, we want you, but I didn't drop a ball, I didn't have a penalty.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that gave up the sack. I mean, it's you feel for it. So much of that place is run so well. But the main part of this thing is that football team, and it's not where it needs to be.
Look,
it's not even close.
Yeah, and I'm not kissing up to anybody, but I can tell you this: because everyone's it's all the Stephen Ross. Oh, they got this big O. Oh, you got to get when Stephen Ross gets rid of the team. No, it's not his problem. Now he may have picked the wrong guys, but that guy has done everything possible to give these guys the best opportunity to win a football game. I am not on every team, but I would be reticent to say that there's another football team that hasn't been given everything they wanted and more.
Best food, best facilities, best plane.
Yeah.
First class plane from front to the back. Everything's done first class. And I always wonder, I say this on my radio show all the time, man, does anybody ever call and apologize to Stephen Ross? Because he deserves a lot better than what he's getting. And you're right, Bo. I know people blame him. Well, it's not the money. We made it clear this guy spends money like nobody's business. Yeah. The decision-making is the part he's got to get right. He's just got to.
And look, this is not a Johnny-come-lately thing. This has been going on now for 25 years.
Right.
You've been through a number of coaches.
Can you imagine Miami Dolphins have not won a playoff game in 25 years?
No. If you'd have told me that, in 2000, I'd go, oh, you're crazy.
No way.
I mean, but Look how far
we are.
Yeah, we're laughing stock.
Even a system that is set up through the draft and free agency so you can get like what the Patriots just did. They were so bad a year ago. That was the worst team. Talking to Jimmy Cefalo, and I'm like, Jimmy, this is the worst Patriots team I've ever seen. And look at 1 year. Yeah. 1 year. Flipped it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
You feel any better?
No, I don't. But I feel a little better. But I'm still, I'm. Look, you and I are as much fans as we are guys. What we're doing on the radio and TV or whatever we do, and it fucking pisses me off every week. Every time we play a game, you get that little respite in between. You get one game. Oh, okay, now we can smile a little bit. But then a week later, you're right back in the
same
in the
thing.
shithole.
Same thing, and
it just this has been the most miserable football year I think I've been around because
Bo, it's funny you said I agree
because I expected coming out of training camp that this team was going to be, man, we had that defense was looking like they were going to be that front seven was going to be one of the top front sevens in the league.
You, man.
And you knew the secondary was a little bit of issue. The offensive line, you have two guys that haven't played. One played 3 plays in the first game. One played, and you know what? I'm going to say this. I probably shouldn't say it. If I'm the coach, I'm going to walk in that meeting room and say, you two guys, get up out of here. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore. We'll pay you off, whatever it is. If you don't want to, I don't know how you can be on the sideline watching your team going down and not even try to get out. And I don't want to hear, they're rehab. Okay, yeah. You've been rehabbing for a fucking year after you got a contract?
You're talking about right guard and right tackle.
I am. I'm not going to name names, but yes, that's it. To me, that's a travesty. I mean, don't even try. You don't even try to come out and play. I mean, you're sitting there watching these guys dying on the field. I mean, not literally dying, but struggling and wanting to try. Guys that are guys like Aaron Brewer, right? Guys like Jordan Brooks, Terrell Dotson, all those guys. All those. There's all these Chubb, Phillips, all these guys. You're busting their ass, and it's going the wrong way, and you're just sitting over there.
Hey, Bo, I give it to the starting 5 on that offensive line. They've been together for a while. And they're saying, hey, man, we're going to get all the snaps we can. And so this league we can play. I like their attitude. Yeah. I would like to see our starters back.
Yeah, anyway. Please. Anyway, okay. I think that's enough, Joe, right? I'm digging myself deeper and deeper. I'm going to have a bad fucking day after this show.
Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't know this was coming today. I know the frustration because we talk a lot. But, all right. You're good.
I tell you, I feel – so, you know what, since this season started – you know who I tell people? I feel like you remember Charlie Brown?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what the character, I think it was Linus, the guy that has the black cloud.
All the time,
everywhere the guy got the black cloud hanging over his head. Yeah. That's what this season has been for. I'm Linus.
Could hit me.
There you go. Yeah, nobody. We like you, though. We like you to come back and catch us every week on Out to Pasture. And remember our good friends at Sawgrass Auto Mall, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, Buick, all under one roof. Joe, I was out there this morning, and they got the amount of cars they have on that
good
lot.
Shape.
I don't know, it's 22 acres.
You sell a lot, you get a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
Chris Atkins will take care of you.
Yep. And Teddy Morris, when he gets off that motorcycle every now and then.
I got to tell you, Teddy's not taking this losing real well
either. About that. All right, that's going to do it for Out to Pasture this week. We'll catch you next time. I think we got Johnny Offerdahl coming up.
I love that.
Johnny Offerdahl, big Johnny.
He came in day 1 and could play.
Yeah, day one. Day one, I saw him. He was the smartest football player I've ever seen in my life. So we'll see you next week, Johnny, and we'll see you guys next week. That'll do it for Out to Pasture.